Let's continue on up the coast. See what we can find. I'm looking for the jacket. That's what I do want to find. I need to find the fisherman's market. Oh, there's so many people to talk to here as well. Tiny cages constructed. These sorry logs smell of ignition fluid. Still they won't light up. It's almost impossible to get a fire going near the ocean. Before I talk to anyone, I'm actually going to investigate the whole area. Look, see, there's things here that I can open up possibly. The remaining window rattled from a strong gust of wind. They're covered in a thick layer of grime. They must have been at this for 40 years. Try to see inside. Dripping water falls from the high place. All you can see is the shadow of a collapsing staircase. There's rust and corrosion on the bars. They're foaming with it. And a small layer of white salt from the sea. Can you see inside? No. I had a partner once. They called him Eyes because he had to show me things. It was that bad. The partner of his Eyes. Things didn't end well. It saddens him to say his name. Don't even ask. He wouldn't answer. Maybe some other small talk. Can you still shoot though? Well enough actually. It's odd how that works. I'm no sharpshooter. But I can pass my shooting course as 7 out of 10. Felled electrical. You see a once bright mural towering above you. The signage has peeled off over the years, but you can still make out Felled Electrical R&D. A slogan used to entwine with the loops a long time ago. Now only a shadow of pale letters remains. It says, tomorrow is just a whisper away. Looks like tomorrow never came. Step closer. Above the mural, a collapsed roof, broken windows, set in walls that are cracking and will soon fall to the coastal breeze, rustling and sighting in the remains of edifice. There's something in the wind, something that sometimes the only way to go forward is to fail first. What's in this building? Maybe we could, you know. He points at the man who points at the building, telling his son something. Ask the man who's pointing. Right, okay. Could Ruby be in there? She could. Or he points behind you. She could be in the identical room over there, or in the boat shack, in the church, maybe. Shiver's impossible 20. Look now. I leave. Speak to this guy.
And Mikhail, notice the windows, especially with how there are no windows on the south side. This was to deal with.
A blond man stands next to his son, pointing out the weather-worn ruins. He sees you approaching and smiles.
You, officers, come to investigate the historic subtext of West Martinez. I'm Trant Heidelstein. You must be Kim Kitsuragi, right? I was just telling my son about this building. Not a lot of people realize the historic significance here. Very rich in hypertext.
Nice to meet you.
Wait, what was that about the windows before?
Oh, yes. So, Mikhail, they had to deal with monitor glare, especially in the summer. They still had vector monitors back then. That was 49 years ago, so they didn't have windows on the south wall.
Hold on, hypertext?
Yes, hypertext. Jan Karp and the collection of cultural hyperlinks.
He's just making up fancy words. This doesn't mean anything. You and Kim know each other?
No, I can't say that we've met before, but I've heard of Kim, of course. Mikhail, say hi to the officers.
He rests his hands on the boy's shoulder. The child stays hidden, the hem of his father's coat, clutching to the worm-themed colouring book.
Mikhail's a little tired today. We spent all night trying to run Orbis on his radio computer. Have you heard of it? It's a programming language used in Grad. Quite tricky, but he wanted to play this Grad-made adventure program. We've been getting really into worms lately.
Ah, a little bit of RPG action.
But I assume you're not here for giant worms, when there are so many real things to see. Just as I was telling Mikhail before, this is where the Coalition landed in '08. We could be standing on what is the most interesting landmark in Revachol West.
This man is your half-brother. You feel it, but why? What's so fascinating about an empty old building? It's not just an empty old building. He raises his hand to his eyes to shield himself from the freezing snow. What not a lot of people know is this used to be the R&D department of Feld Electrical in Feld, which now sells ink cartridges, mostly. Was once a top dog in the turn of the century cybernetics boom. Hold on, what's R&D? Research and development, you twat. Look at the building looming over you. It's old and weathered. What's R&D? Apologies. I don't think I've ever heard of this Feld Electrical. It's not surprising, only a vestigial ink cartridge and ferrotape manufacturer remains. It started out as Midway Electronics. They made Mortal Kombat. Tricentennial was beating them in business machines. He gestures towards the building, but Feld had an ace up their sleeve, or should I say they were developing an ace up their sleeve. He grins. I'm mixing my metaphors here. What was that ace? It was here in Martinez, possibly this very building, that they developed prototypes for a tape computer. An elegant folding mechanism with rollers and ferrotape ribbons, portable enough to take it home. Blah blah blah. The revolution, the boy wipes his nose on his sleeve. Unfortunately, their moonshot project never made it to the market. It backfired, the government liquefied their assets, etc. Right, I don't really care about this. You're saying that Feld Electrical built this boardwalk? Yes. A pleasure wheel. Perhaps reminded of a childhood memory. What did the revolutionaries do with those advanced tape computers? They used them for military communications, he says. Okay. What's the Marsh Decree? I mean, the radio transmission sent out to news agencies would governments... What the fuck? Sent out to news agencies and world governments by the newly created commune of Revachol. Right, I don't care about any of this if I'm honest. What happened to the engineers? Nothing. How did the tape computers work? Blah blah blah, no one gives a fuck. Wait, did he just say Wumpty Dumpty Dom Centre? He didn't. He did it. He said Wumpty Dumpty Dom Centre like the most natural thing in the world. This is all ninsy pinsy garbage for sissy people. So what are you talking about? Is a centre for contemporary arts. You're making this up. Turn to the lieutenant. Kim, is he making it up? Wumpty Dumpty Doms. I've got another bloody thought. This is ridiculous. In fact, I'm not. The Wumpty Dumpty Dom Centre, he says casually, is a place you can visit if you ever in Redford and are never in the market for an exhibition space / contemporary art research centre. He clears his throat. Cool. Right, I want to get out of this. I want to ask something else. Have you seen anyone suspicious around? No. I'm sorry, it's my day off. There's something friendly and familiar in how he says that a day off. Great, thank you for all your interest and information. End. Well, that was riveting. We got something out of it, but I've got no room to learn anything. See, I wonder how you get in these white boxes. Right, I can't go any further, that's it. Come on then, we're gonna have to speak to the workers around the back. Or the homeless people. Looks like they're just scavenging.
Here we go. Nice and easy.
Oh,
way
look
out,
who it is.
guys. Not out of this jam.
It's the cryptozoologist. Here we go, nice and easy. No way out. Little guys, not out of this jam. There's a cylinder on the ground in which the man is arranging some netting. It looks like some kind of trap. He notices you.
Who's there? Oh, the police. Hello, officer.
Hello, sir.
Is that the police? Why's the police here?
Don't worry, Gary. I'll handle it.
Don't worry, Gary. I've got this. You must be Morell the
To what
Cryptozoologist.
do I owe the pleasure?
Lana sent me. She's been really worried about you and is waiting for you to get back.
Of course. Thank you for passing along the message. That damned waterlock is broken, and we can't go all the way around the 881.
It's been fixed. It was fine when I crossed it. Withhold the story. I'm going to tell my story.
You broke the waterlock with the motor carriage? But there was a billboard in the canal. Not a vehicle, it said Samaran Butter.
No, see, I jumped over the canal in my motor carriage, tearing through the Samarian butter sign, which fell into the canal blocking the gate. I used the pawn shop as a launch ramp.
Why?
Why? It was an experiment to gauge the Capri 40's aerial performance. I'm something of a gentleman scientist.
Scientist? Yes, okay. But you said the waterlock is fixed now, so we can go back.
Yes.
Did he say we can go back now?
Yes, Gary, we can go soon. If you see Lena, tell her I won't be long.
Okay.
Sir, your wife is waiting for you.
I just have to do one more round. See if the phasmid has taken the bait. Then we're going.
He refastens a bit of netting that has come loose in the wind. For all his passions, the man is diligent and patient. You could learn things from him. Tell me about these traps. Well, he points to the cage and mesh wiring on the ground. They may not look impressive, but Lena designed them quite cleverly, so I'm sure they'll do the trick. Lena designed the traps? Yes. More than some he admires about her. How do traps work? Simple. Attracted by the locust, the phasmid crawls down the funnel, and having eaten its fill, can't get back out. What are you using as bait? Locusts, he gestures towards the trap. Nearly all known phasmids are herbivores, of course, but we've hypothesized that the insulindin phasmid might occasionally prey on other insects. Inside the traps, a number of locusts crawl and tumble over one another in a tiny chittering swarm. What will you do if these traps don't work? They'll work, I assure you. The predatory hypothesis using locusts as bait accounts for the failure of previous efforts by other teams, which used plants. We've given this some thought. Traps do seem to be deftly and thoughtfully constructed. It's clear the cryptozoologist's wife knows what she's doing. I'm looking for a suspect. I'm afraid not, officer. I've been busy digging around the reeds for days. The lieutenant takes a short note in his notebook, then gestures for you to proceed. Tell me about the phasmid. Well, first of all, it's damn difficult to find, which is why we've been knee-deep in the reeds laying traps for it. What makes it so difficult to find? Good question. Being a phasmid, of the other Phantasmodera, a ghost insect, it disguises itself as plant matter, in this case the reeds. He looks around. Awful lot of reeds around, aren't there? And I suspect it may have also developed other specialist techniques to protect itself from predators or scientists, in our present case. What sorts of techniques? Electrochemical defences that allow it to interfere with animal perception. But I cannot describe how these defences work. Yes, it makes perfect sense. You're beginning to suspect there's something paranatural about this phasmid. How big is it? I'm expecting it to be quite giant. One known species of phasmid called the Mega Phasmodea, Zeusis, is about the size of a grown man's forearm, so he leaves the conclusion up to you. Seems puny, to be honest. Why are you so interested in this stick bug? He flashes you a sideways smile. Typical rookie assumption. Insects are much more sophisticated creatures than those universal zoology you give them credit for. Even simply catching a glimpse of the insulindin phasmid would be the apex of any cryptozoologist's career, but to study it and its devices, find out how it stays hidden so long, he shakes his head, would be glory itself. What have you discovered about it so far? Very little. So no one's ever found one? Not yet. The lieutenant interjects, just out of curiosity, if there's no proof of its existence, how do you know it's real? I know it's real. Brusquely enough, he even seems taken aback by it. By which I mean he says, gathering himself, I've heard enough first-hand accounts believe quite firmly that the insulindin phasmid is more than mere superstition. Lena said there has been a sighting of it here in Martinez. Yes, the most recent sighting by a couple of teenagers along the coast here. It's the first credible sighting in several decades, admittedly. It's an unusual location for the species, but with all the sewage runoff upstream, it probably doesn't matter much anymore. Maybe the insulin and phasmid has died out. He shakes his head vigorously. I have to resist the thought. Parthenogenesis. Yes, females don't need males to reproduce. Makes it easier for a species to survive in adverse conditions. Females reproducing without a male? A travesty, a crime against passion and common sense. This arouses no special feeling in me. It's pretty clever. I want to say that. Females reproducing without males? A travesty. Nature does not concern herself with ethical propositions. As a scientist, my interest is strictly dispassionate. Lana seems pretty eager for you to return. And I'm eager to return to her, I assure you, but I can't leave until I finish with these traps. My wife understands. Come on, Morell. We've been soaking out here for days, it's time to go back. And leave the traps? Absolutely not, he yells in response. I won't let Lena down. Come on, she wants us back. I'm soaked up by nuts over here. We'll both catch reed crabs if you don't dry out soon. I didn't know the phasmid was so important to Lena. Of course it's important to her. She's seen it. A verified setting on record. One of only 4 this century and hers. Really? Yes, that's how we first came to know one another. Needless to say, you must ask her about the mysterious phasmoid. Suffice to say, it's been our dream to find proof of the insulin and phasmid together. I can't abandon course now. His spirit may be willing, but his body might be too old to endure the rigour of the course. Okay, I understand. Don't give up on things either. Good. Good quality to have, both of the police officer and experimental zoologist. I could go for some trap setting. Okay. What if we checked the traps for you? He looks at you with obvious surprise. I didn't expect you to take on such an interest in our work here, officer. We're looking for someone hiding in this coast, looking for another thing may lead us to her. I'm all in with this cryptid shit, I'm hooked. Caught the bug, I see. He cracks an unwieldy smile. It's easier to get caught up in the search than you'd imagine. My partner was joking, he says. Right, where are these traps? 4 in total. 1 is to the south. Blah, blah, blah. Another is in Land's End. A third is in the canal. We should check at least one of those before returning to this one, since I just said it. What do I do if the phasmid is in one of the traps? Bring it to me. What if I encounter the phasmid in the wild? That's highly unlikely. He takes out a small white spray can. I'll spray you with this pheromone mixture I developed. Lay it on me. This is the smell of dying reeds. Right, that's it. Whatever he thinks about this detour, it's clear that these men are exhausted and in need of assistance. Finally, someone's talking sense. How did you become a cryptozoologist? Blah, blah, blah. Thanks for explaining that. Let's get going. So that was him. What about this guy?
Hello, I'm Gary. Very generous of you to help us out, officer.
Continue.
Yellow man. I mean, officer.
Naughty. The lieutenant raises his eyebrows slightly and takes out his notebook. Yellow man, that sounds awfully familiar. Something to keep in mind for later.
I'm just waiting for my friend Morell to finish up with his insect traps so we can return to civilization.
Not a lover of the great
I
outdoors.
like nature, just not this bloody coast. It's mostly drunks and degenerates that come here.
Degenerates. I've been trained to identify the slightest hints of degeneracy by preeminent authority on it.
Oh, I didn't mean it in any scientific way.
Do you know anything about the man? Is this your mug? Hold up the yellow man mug. Why would you think that? You said yellow man. That's not something many people go around saying. Really? I hear it all the time. All in jest, of course. No offence meant to anyone. Alright, I believe you. You're not going to find me, are you? I am. Rip out a fine slip for 250 real. Oh god, 250, how am I going to pay that? He looks at the slip of yellow copy paper, then gets a hold of himself. Okay, I'll work harder, I'll pay it off, I promise. It's, in a way, admirable how quickly he composes himself after such a blow. This man digs authority, even when it's bullying him. And I'll never do it again. I don't know what got into me, really. Work has been stressful lately, damn. Joko's price dumping us out of competition. What did you do, Gary? Nothing, just answering some questions. Here we go, start pumping that sweet info. Gary, did you put the clothes of a murder victim, the man who was hanged behind the whirling rags, into the trash container? Officer, please, he raises both hands. Let me explain. It's not like that. Do. I was only cleaning up. I live right across the yard from where he was hanged, and I saw him stripped naked. All the clothes lying around the yard smelling. People are animals, you know. Okay. So then what happened? Then I came out to clean the rags because no one else would. I put them into the whirling's trash along with a broken mug. Admittedly, he changes his mind mid-sentence. Okay, I was coming to throw the mug away as well, and threw the mug there enclosed too. I wonder if this guy lives in that shack. Right, it was just civic duty, the lieutenant remarks drolly. Exactly, that's exactly what it was, civic duty. Perception hearing. As he shifts uncomfortably, a series of clicks like the clanging of glass beads against one another as they roll across a hardwood floor. You've heard this sound before, but where? Oh, the armor. It makes that sound when we flick it. What's that strange sound? What sound? That clinking I just heard when you moved. Really? He fans his arms out slowly, and this time the motions are soundless. There's lots of weird stuff out here in the reeds though. Insects, trash, could be the wind shifting, some garbage nearby. Every day the wind shifts the reeds and whatever we left in them. Tambourines and condom wrappers, plastic and glass bottles, the smell of decay. You wouldn't know anything about the victim's missing armor, would you? Armor? No. He changes his mind. I mean, yes, of course. I know he was wearing armor, but I don't know anything about it. Really? So how did he get into the trash container? I know a guy who works with trash collection services. CS Municipal. He gave me a master key for the trash container of Martinez. Why would you need to get into everyone's trash? So I can use the Whirling's trash compactor to store my own stuff. Bow and shake, shamefully, like a fallen knight. Garbage disposal is expensive as hell. I'm sorry, okay? I thought I could cut costs. I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have disgraced myself. Disgraced? The lieutenant raises his eyebrow and looks up. No need for historic, sir. It was, after all, just a trash container. He studies his reaction. Gary doesn't answer. I want to ask him about this again. Strange sound? Don't mess with me. I think you know what I'm talking about. I haven't the slightest. There's lots of weird stuff out here in the reeds though. Insects, trash. Could be the wind shifting some garbage nearby. Let's move on. I hope I could help you with your investigation in my small way. He's very relieved it's over. Don't be so relieved yet, Gary. The bad cop may have been in your apartment admiring your mug collection. Perhaps a little intimidation. What does this do? Why he's shifting around like that? Analyze Gary's composure. Shit, I need to do this. It's not red, so we can do it again if we fail. I'll do this last. So Gary, you live nearby in an apartment in Martinez? Sure I do, officer. His eyes narrow slightly. He's wondering where this is going. Have you found your door open lately? In my home, yes. When I was going to... He turns pale. How did you know? Mr. Everett Clare thought it necessary to unlock your apartment. Mr. Clare unlocked my apartment. Nod. Don't worry. I didn't go in. So you work for Everett Clay. He realizes what's going on and changes his tone. Officer, please. Tell him we're good. No. Tell him I'll make it up to him. What have I done? He'll send the muscle after me. The man looked around, whispering. He makes sure no one hears you talk. Try not to shit yourself, Gary. It's just an open door. Really? I don't even know what it was about. I just opened the door. Whatever it is, tell him I'm silent as the grave, the man thinks. I was probably talking too loud in the whirling the other night about some theories. He looks around nervously. I won't do it again. If there's anything I can do to assist you or the union, just ask, okay? I'll try to help if I can. This scared him proper. He's positively melting from fear. Has to prop himself up with a lot of anger to keep it together. The weather vane has turned, the lieutenant remarks with a smirk. He cannot be unturned. Oh, look, that's helped. He clearly liked his squirming. He may even have changed his mind about the whole door opening operation. Are you a cryptozoologist too? No. I help Morell with research sometimes, and I learn some things along the way, but I don't usually go in for picnics like this on my own. Do you know anything about the man behind the whirling in rags? I told you everything I know. I'm truly sorry for the mug, but I've got nothing to do with that. You were surprised to see my colleague Kitsuragi. Not many Seolites here, or anywhere, other than Seoul. I meant no offence, truly. Do you remember how when we met Measurehead, and I said the next racist will be a really good one? Yes? Well, he gestures towards Gary as though he was presenting a work of art. This is a racist. Are you, Gary? Are you a racist? I'm not even bothered about that. He's nothing compared to Measurehead. I don't know who that is, he blushes. But all I meant was there are not many Seolites around here. Yes, what are they doing in that soul there scheming? Do you have a problem with Seolites? No, problem at all. He flashes an impenetrable smile at Kim. Right. Let's stick a save on here. I want to get this. Save. I want to boost my composure as much as I can. Composure. Oh, wait there. I forgot I like these boots. These perception boosts instead of... Oh, no, because that boosts composure. Have I actually got all composure gear on already? Shit, I have. Okay, then. Wait there. Right, that's it. We're going to go for it. Come on, baby.
Always a play. I mean, officers.
Analyze Gary's composure. Boom. That shirt looks very uncomfortable on him. Look at the buttons, barely keeping that thing together, as if something is ready to rip out from underneath. Something worn underneath it. Yes, like a piece of ceramic armour, for example. One that makes a clicking sound when the plates meet each other, resembling pearls or marbles, stolen from the corpse in the yard near where he lives. I see you're a connoisseur of high-quality combat gear. He freezes, then sighs heavily. I knew you'd figure it out, officer. I'm sorry I didn't tell you at once. He unbuttons the shirt. You see gleaming white ceramic shine underneath. A thin layer of interlocking plates covers his gaunt torso. I was ashamed of what I did, and I didn't want you to know. This shame is surprisingly sincere. Gary, what's going on? Later, Morell. I've got apologising to do. Yes, you do. Grovel beneath my feet. No, you've got explaining to do. The lieutenant's tone is icy. Give me that armour now. Bling bling. He sighs again, hangs his head and unbuttons his shirt fully. A cuirass that matches the dead man's boots comes into view. Soon it is in your hands, smelling of his sweat. But so light to hold, like a bag of cotton. Continue. This is it. This will protect your mortal shell. Don it and live. Why did you really put those clothes in the trash? Everyone was picking those pieces off him, and I was watching them do it, and they scattered his clothes all over the yard. Everything was smelling. He looks at his feet. So I went there to take out my trash and started cleaning up. All those rags on the ground, him swinging up there, and he swallows. I had a lapse of honour, sir. I thought he's a foreigner. They all say he wasn't from here. Only the cuirass was left, so I stripped it off him. It was early in the morning, no one saw me. I took it with me, it was a mistake. Had I known I'd give you guys trouble, I wouldn't have. His lips start quivering. Fuck. It's okay, the lieutenant jots down something in his notebook. It was a loose end, and you're tying it up now. I'm too fucking sorry. I'm so fucking sorry I called you Yellow Man, he says silently. Sea Light officers commanded the Caesarians Navy. Most of them sided with the king when he shakes his head. It's difficult to say what the lieutenant thinks of his historic apology. His face does not believe emotions. Do you know who killed the hangman? I always thought it was the Union, but I'm sure as hell won't go around saying that anymore. You have my word, I don't know, and I won't be running my mouth on this subject anymore. So why did you lie? Because I was weak, he says, staring at nothing in particular. I should have told you the moment I saw you, but... The hell, Gary, you in trouble? You're not. I'm letting you off. We're done here. Get in. Yeah, we are rocking this, like. Thank you for your cooperation. Damn. So let's check out this chess piece. Is it any good? +1 pain threshold, +1 volition, -1 empathy. It's alright. Hey, that looks pretty blingin', doesn't it? I've already got the gloves on. I'm a fucking Robocop. Call me Robocop. That jacket does look cool though. The commander's jacket is free to core visual calculus. Commander's jacket looks the best. But, as good as that is... Oh, I can wear it underneath. Oh, it's underneath, it doesn't go over the top. -1 empathy. Okay, I'll do that. I'll keep these on for now. If I want to change the boots to perception. Oh, I look like a legend. Okay then. Let's continue. We've got to find these traps, haven't we? There's 3 traps to find. Could this be the boy Klassje told you about? Haha. That's right, because it was within the reeds. A metal and plastic contraption bobs up and down amidst the trembling reeds. At first it just looks like trash, but if you look closer... That over there, he points to the strange looking object, must be the boy Klassje told us about. It's the one she hid her passport in. We should take a look. Pick up the boy. You lift the boy out of the water without much effort. It's not tied to anything. The cords dangling from the bottom appear to have been cut. Examine the ball. The number 11 has been written on the yellow plastic. It hasn't been in the water very long, but it's already discoloured and slimy with silt. A latch holds it closed, but only just barely. The brittle metal of the latch has cracked. Simple construction, very unsafe. Shake it. Sniff it. It smells like you would expect it to smell. A concentrated version of the coast. Salt, industrial slop and decay. The water this side of the peninsula is cleaner. Actually, smells a little salty. Shake it. Actually, I'm not going to shake it in case it damages anything inside. I'm going to open it up. A shot glass's worth of seawater pours out. Some algae and nothing else. Well, damn. I wonder if she's already been here to take it. No documents. Who do you think took them? I've no idea. The lieutenant taps his foot, frowning. This is a minor quirk. We know what was inside the boy anyway. He purses his lips. Or think we do. This is a small loose end either way. Not important, I hope. Yeah, maybe Klassje took them herself. That may very well be the case. We should keep an eye on her, he sighs. Nothing more for us to do here, let's go. Yeah, a little while longer and it might have floated away. Leave it be. Right, well that's a nightmare. I'm going to ask him, does he know what happened with the boy?
We'll be on our way soon. Thank you again for lending a hand.
Can't do that. What about this guy?
Always a pleasure. I mean, office.
Nope. Yeah, I really don't know what to make of Klassje. Like, I'm going to being this way. I don't trust her. But at the same time, I do... Is she in on it? Is she not? Why would she hang around if she is? It's just... It's fucking hard, son. Right, I'm heading this way. Oh, wait there, what's this? Whoa, 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 whoa. Relax, it's not yours. You didn't crash every motor car in Revachol, hopefully. Rust-eaten letters, Mazout. That's going to take 3 more hours. A dead phone smashed receiver like someone hung up too hard. You can imagine why. Calls become terrible sometimes. Smash the plastic dome. Is this a phone as well? Metal payphone under a yellow plastic dome. You could use it to call someone, unless you're out of change. Pick up the handset. I'm not going to dial a random number, am I? Right, wait there, wait. What? Buzz, the electricity flows through the wires with audible powers. With audible power. A kick drum pulse. The music is coming from somewhere on the ice. Aha, look what we found. Full of holes. Could the post hide treasure? Oh, look, this is where all the drunks hide their money. I'm stealing everything. Before you, a drawbridge. It can only be lowered from the other side. A school of fish hold around the fence post, then scatter into the dark. So where's this drawbridge like? So much stuff to take. Oh, this must be the church. You feel the shadow of a very large building in front of you. St. Brune, 1147. Dusty pews, it is the church. An altar shrouded in dark. Right, I want to go around here before we investigate these 2 buildings. I want to clear up everything outside. It must have taken a lot of patience to do this. I've got people to talk to. Painted with pastels, someone is trying to bring cheer into the world. Pole screwed into the ice keeps the tent erect. Trash from a party. Tribalistic markings. covered with little humanoids. It's someone's home away from home just like yours. Pile of Eternite. A pane of Eternite has been planted into the snow. 2 poles are holding it up. Barely holding it up. It could fall over any minute. A stronger gust of wind might enough. What is this? Looks like a makeshift bridge. He adjusts his collar against cool breeze. Could be convenient. Push it over. Bish bash bosh. Now we've got a shortcut. We should ask the girl on the ice what's going on here. Okay then. The tent is just a tarpaulin fabric covering a pile of stuff. The flap is open. Inside, 3 young men are listening to some new form of music. It's like nothing you ever heard. One of them looks at you.
Come on, get in and close the flap behind you. The warm stuff's getting out.
That's a bunch of druggies. No, not yet. Not yet. Right, let's save it. I want to speak to that girl first, then possibly we're going to go into this hot box of a tent. The hot boxing, son. A cell. A shaggy looking girl in her late teens or early 20s kneels on the ice with an electronic contraption in her hand. Hearing you approach, she looks up.
Oh, hello there.
Hello. It's cold out here, but she's not wearing a hat. She must be freezing. Everyone knows drugs make you invulnerable to cold. You bet this one likes to party. Dear child, it's freezing. Where's your hat? She looks up at you, distracted. Maybe she didn't hear you. A little louder. I said you should have a hat on.
So should you.
I have. You don't have to do anything. I shouldn't, I do.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
It's nice. You should wear one too if you plan on staying outside in this weather. Now that's all cleared up, I have some questions for you. Fuck, I want to pursue about the hat.
Yeah, well...
She tries to think of...
Fuck the hat.
Fuck the hat. Authority. Oh, that's right. I can't do authority because all of my skills are like really low. Wait, I want to try this. Is that language really necessary?
I'm sorry I said fuck the hat. I was concentrating on something else. My whole family swears and it rubbed off on me.
There's a pained expression on her face. She'll answer your questions now. Oh, well, maybe it was good that I didn't authoritize her. Have you seen a red-haired woman around? Nope. Just no. It's pretty desolate here. I only hear the dogs bark at night and see the shadows move down the coast. What's your name? Acel. Her hair's dyed blonde with dark roots shown. There's a coarseness in her features, some masculinity below the timidness. I am not a young suitor. This is official police business. And your surname? Why? I'm from the police. It's for the paperwork. Okay, she hesitates. It's Berger. What's that device you have there? This? She breathes on her freezing fingers. It's a portable recording device. It's for field recording. Low quality but still. And the wires? Actually, just one wire. I picked on it till the braiding came loose. The wire leads to a contact microphone. Got it. Well, I'll ask her about it. What's a contact microphone? Record sounds from inside things like this ice. Nice. You could maybe bug someone with it. Wiretapping. Where did you get it from? Same place I got the recorder from. The Elysium. Where is it? You haven't been to the Elysium? She forgets herself for the moment. It's the coolest place in this whole drug adult shithole. It's a music club and synthesized workshop on Bogey Street in Jamrock. Thinking about it really cheers her up. It's a long way from here though. Sounds interesting. Who is this Arno guy? Oh yeah, she looks over, assessing your age. Guess you wouldn't know Van Eyck. Or really be a Elysium going kind of person. I get down. I don't know what that means. I grind. I don't know what that means either. It means I'm hip beyond my years. That's cool. She breathes on her fingers. Looks like she didn't know what to say. Never mind, let's talk about the contact mic instead. How does the thing work? Blah blah blah. Vibrations in the air. The box said it only picks up structure-borne sound if you like technobabble. I've got some non-mic questions for you. What are you doing in the cold? Recording. What exactly? Cracks in the ice, but there's no way to tell, not without headphones. I think I just recorded your footsteps. 2. Not sure how that'll sound. She scratches her forehead. Wait, what happened to the headphones? My boyfriend sold them. What for? I don't know, man. Things just stuff you need for life. Everything checks out, sire. And what are these recordings for, the cracks in the footsteps? The musicians in the Elysium use them for making music. They loop stuff, cutting tapes together. They make music out of cracks in the ice, blah blah blah, just nod. Anyways, I thought I'd make some too. It's supposed to be like a music place. Anyway, she rubs her shoulders and looks around. The girl is cold all of a sudden, very cold. I don't really know what I'm doing. They use synthesizers too. I don't have a synthesizer. She looks at the recording device, the thing she thought would fill her hours with joy and escape. It's turning out to be an empty fantasy. She feels childish, very useless all of a sudden. Take this, you're cold. The lieutenant begins to take off his jacket. No man, fuck that, I'm cool. I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry about the fuck. It's okay. He backs up. He throws you a glance. Give her my hat. Fuck that. You said it was supposed to be a music place. What is? She nods towards the church. The boys think it could be a place like the Palaceum or something stupid. It's really... She pauses. Not going to be a Palaceum. That's for sure. The boys? Yeah, Andre and the guys. They're inside the tent. I had some other questions. Empathy legendary. Right, come on then. Let's get our empathy game on. Fuck me, I haven't got anything with empathy on it. Boom. Just one thing with empathy on it. Have I got anything that's taken empathy off me? I know I've got some skills in the works that does. Take that off.
Hello again.
58%. Let's give this a shot.
Hello again.
Nice. The device is still warm from her touch and heavy as a brick from the batteries inside. The company logo Omicron. Omicron? Amazing. The Nomad Soul Omicron. That was a phenomenal game. If anyone hasn't played it, I suggest you do. It's from back in the PlayStation and... What did I play it on? The Sega Dreamcast days. It's also got an awesome song by David Bowie. Omicron. Didn't see us coming. Omicron. Right, enough of the history lesson. It adorns its yellow plastic cover inside. The tape is rolling. The girl looks at the device in your hands. I'm sorry you have to sit here on the ice feeling miserable at your age, or at any age, in this weather, waiting for it to get dark. Put the tape recorder down. Should I give her my tape recorder? I don't need it anymore, do I? Nothing to emote over. You put the device back on the ice. What? What did I just do? Fuck, I didn't even know what I've just done. I thought it was talking about my tape recorder, like as if I was going to give it to her. But I must have picked her tape recorder up and I want to ask her about it. What the hell? I was honestly a little bit... I got a bit sidetracked talking about Omicron, the Nomad Soul. That I completely lost what I was doing. Ah, shit the bed. I bet it doesn't even let me pass it this time.
Hello again.
Right, I'm sorry you have to sit here on the ice feeling miserable at your age, or at any age. She looks at you in the eye and her pupils wide, surrounded by a ridiculous amount of makeup. The people who built this world intended to be better for you, but they failed. It's easier to live in their failure with this by your side. The wind howls. She remains silent. It's real. Tell her. It's not a childish fantasy. It can be a real weapon against what's coming for you now. What is? Her shoulders shake a little. The dark. Nothing. If you got this. Wait there, what I said? It can be a real weapon against what's coming for you now. What is? Nothing if you got this. Don't be scared. Okay, her teeth rattle. She takes the device from you and places it in her lap. I'll stick to it. Something changes between you two. She looks at you differently now, as an equal, a fellow human being. Nice. After a moment of silence, she speaks again. So thanks, I guess, for the psych session. Maybe I can return it. What's been eating you, officer? You said eating me? There's nothing eating me. Come on, I can tell. She shakes her head slowly, but okay. Be a bodiero about it if you want to. Guess there is something that has been making my life hell. What is it? She listens intently. The plight of the working class? Everyone just mooching off the entrepreneurial class? I think it's all these foreign people. People just keep putting their selfish interests ahead of the greater good. It's actually none of these. It's what happened to my ex-wife. People just keep putting their selfish interests ahead of the greater good. Well, really, yeah. No one understands that sometimes you've got to make sacrifices for the sake of progress. It's all very distressing. So there's the thing that's been eating you. The slow pace of social progress. Don't get me wrong. I'm all for slow and steady progress. I just wish people would be a little more reasonable. Okay, so you're not that upset, it sounds like. I told you, I'm highly distressed by this state of affairs. Uh-huh, and you're sure it's social progress you're distracted about and not, I don't know, some chick? Yes, it is some chick. Perhaps. Now that you mention it, I found these letters I'd thrown in the trash. They might have something to do with it. Okay, why do you think that? First they had just the faintest scent of chewing gum on them. I could still smell it under the shit. They were written in a woman's handwriting. And oh boy, did reading them make me not feel good. I need to say that. There you have it then. Chick trouble. Not political after all. Who was she? I don't remember. Really? She appears to believe you. You seem pretty upset about this, chica. Are you sure you don't remember anything about her? I remember her scent and that's all. Wow man, that's some pretty strange shit. She rubs her sides for warmth. Are you sure the letters were for you? Yeah, I'm sure. Why would have I reacted so strongly otherwise? How come you don't remember though? Is it like some selective memory thing? I think it's more about me getting so unbelievably drunk. I completely erased all my memory of this world. Wait, what do you mean by selective memory? Well, I know what she means. You might have a point there, selective memory. Yeah, that all might be psych bullshit, you know. Konigstein wank. What is this wank? You know, psych thing they've got going on there. Rich people like it. People in Konigstein are mostly rich. Thanks for the bullshit psych thing then. You're welcome. She thinks for a second, stretching her jaw. Might be for the best to keep that shit forgotten about. Just my opinion. If it itches, don't scratch. Yes, but it itches really, really bad. Well, that was excellent. What's this? We're getting reports of normal, reasonable, temperate political opinions somewhere in Martinez. That's me, Mr. Reasonable. Someone's got to keep it sane around here. The air suddenly feels calmer, more transparent in a strangely tender way. Perhaps it's the hangover, perhaps it's a temporary surge of serotonin, but something tells you it's time to become a citizen of the Kingdom of Conscience. First, where is the Kingdom of Conscience? It's not a place, it's a moment, in time that could only arise in right circumstances. In all of human history, it's only been achieved by a handful of times. How do you bring about those circumstances? Incrementally. Yawn, you get there faster with a little speed. History's greatest catastrophes have been brought about by people trying to make the world a better place too quickly. That's the genius of Dolores Day. She recognised that progress is meaningless if it gains or lost because of instability. Real lasting changes can only come about gradually, increment by increment. Okay, but what is the kingdom of conscience really like? It's difficult to comprehend and even more difficult to describe. Partly because humanity will need to discard many of the categories that define and limit it today, the kingdom of conscience is post-capitalist, post-national. It's also post-industrial, post-ideological, and even post-sexual. Sounds incredible. Alonzwai, let's go there right now. I'm gonna go there right now. Slow down, Mr. Reasonable. Did you miss the part about compromising and taking things slow? Alright, then let's get there. Eventually. A new thought, kingdom of conscience. That's right, remember, real democracy is just around the corner for Revachol. When that real democracy kicks in, a long time from now, we're all gonna be much happier. Well then, that is quite the revelation. Now what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna investigate these guys. Let's go into the hot box.
Come on, get in. The warm
Squeeze
stuff's
in.
getting out. Sorry, we barely have room for one.
Continue.
You go ahead. I'm too old for this.
Alright, Kim, mate. I'm actually not, he thinks. I just dislike delinquents.
I'm sure you will feel right at home. I'll keep watch.
Cheers, mate. Oh yeah. Smells like sweat and laundry detergent, plus a trace of ether. Canisters filled with what appears to be water. A speaker, the big kind they use for live music. A pile of nasal sprays, brand name, Nosafed Ultra. Right. Let's put some clothes on. What are these guys gonna like? Conceptualization, I bet. They seem like that type of people. Let's do it. You've seen a youngish man bleaching the tips of his hair with a toothbrush. He puts the toothbrush down and extends his hand in a greeting.
Hello, I'm Andre. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Shake his hand. His grip is strong, sweaty and warm. He's trying to project and inspire confidence.
This is my posse. Noid.
Your Noid posse. The young man with earrings looks at you suspiciously.
And Egghead.
So wait there, this is my posse. Noid and Egghead.
Egg!
The tape player high above his head continues to blast strange music.
Together with a Settle Burger, who's out there right now, doing some seriously progressive sonic experimentation, we like to think of ourselves as music venue organisers.
So how many venues have you organised?
We have many in the pipeline, officer.
Why are you here?
You see, we've been all over Jamrock North, prospecting for real estate to establish a new venue in.
Also for talent.
Yeah, thank you, Egghead. And while there is no shortage of raw, unfettered talent spinning tapes in Jamrock, we've had rotten luck with the real estate part.
Place is a shithole.
I apologise for my friend Noid's potty mouth. I realise this is not how you speak to a police officer. He has authority issues.
Was there something you wanted?
Yeah, it's a matter of occupied ecclesiastical property. I bet you've noticed the derelict hive of narcomania on the coast.
An attempt to pander to your perceived conservative sensibilities, no person his age would ever use a word like narcomania with a straight face. Don't fall for it. Enough histrionics. What are you talking
I'm
about?
talking about the church, and I'm not exaggerating. Even a place of spiritual refuge can become a magnet for all sorts of dope heads and burnouts if left unattended.
Dope heads.
Burnouts. Well, I'm sad to say, that's exactly what happened. Sad because we were just about to put Martinez on the map with one of the maddest dance clubs in Jamrock. Nah, strike that, in Revachol.
Sounds great.
Strike that, the world.
Zivald.
And sadder yet, because the dope heads and burnouts holed up in there were the worst kind.
He leans back a little, watching you with a steady, serious gaze, letting you imagine just how bad those dope heads and burnouts really are. I won't stand for narcomaniacs of any kind. No narcomaniacs in my watch. Shake your head. I feel like you may be laying this on a bit thick. What's really so bad about these dope heads and burnouts? They're spooky. What exactly do you mean spooky? I was hoping you'd be able to judge. I was hoping you'd be the judge of that, officer. All I can say is their spookiness is the kind that keeps us from restoring this church to a community centre and a place of spiritual refuge. Also, they don't heat or clean the building, shit's gonna collapse. People just want to spin tapes without them spooking it all up. Places are bad signs, no one can dance like that. Thank you, Egghead. He turns to you. So you're gonna look into it, right? It should be a police matter, getting them out. Whatever spooky stuff they're doing, I'm sure that's not what the Ecclesiates meant their property for. I'll look into it. Alright man, he clapped his hands enthusiastically. Andre is obviously very happy you took him seriously. The whole tent is. The boys exchange giddy looks. I wanted to ask you about this tent full of equipment. What's with all the Nosafed? The what now? He leans in to hear you better. Point at the bottle of nasal spray. Ah, the old Ultra. I have a minor sinus infection, stuffy nose. We all do. Shit's all blasted up. Winter can't even breathe. You sound fine to me. Yes, he nods energetically. That's all Nosafed's doing. Without the Nosa, I'd be drowning in the shit right now. Can I have some? Nice. I see you brought your own water. Yeah, good to have. Bitch to carry. When I first scouted the place, I did some reconnaissance. Not sure the church even has running water. And it's distilled too. Oh, he doesn't know what to say. It's the one they sell at the fuel station. Hate to tell you, but it reeks of sweat in here. It does, doesn't it? Told you we have a smell problem. He picks up a piece of telephone cord and inspects it. Wait, do I smell ether? Why? It's mixed with a peculiar chemical scent, like laundry detergent. Wait, I also smell ether. I don't smell ether, do you, Noid? Nope. It's mixed with a peculiar chemical scent. He sniffs the air, then shrugs. A shrug is good enough for us. Why say it when you can shrug it? Alright, enough of this. Logic, godly. Maybe everything isn't quite as you've been told. Take a moment to analyse. Fuck, okay. You mentioned these Ecclesiates. Fuck knows what that word says, it's ridiculous. What do you mean by Metoran? You know, the Meteo, concerning Meteo. Or Meteo. A country on Monday. And what is the founding party? Come to think of it, I've never really looked them up, you know. I can't give you a precise definition. And they have roots in ancient mass society, he pauses. And they're the custodians of the church. It doesn't sound like they'd appreciate a dance club in their church. You're totally wrong about that, he shakes his head. The church is about love. Love is hardcore. Unity. Unity! Make some noise for my insulin posse. You feel it. The anodes and the cathodes coursing through you. Your big toe starts tapping along to the base, as if testing the waters. No words. Enjoy the beat. Yeah, feels good. I now understand it was lame of me to suggest otherwise. Music is about love and the church. Yeah. He seems ecstatic that you share his vision. Do it for the masses, do it for the crew. Didn't want to say it, but it was pretty lame of you to imply otherwise. Anyway, you got more questions? The one with the large head is still looking at you. What's the state of the church? I asked not to install a measure against more drifters wandering in, a padlock. It's a temporary fix, just something to contain the situation. I had to do it in a hurry, not my best work, but it should hold for a while. What about the key? Of course. Nod, give the officer the key. I want to try the reaction speed. Yes! You sense the trajectory of the little piece of metal and plastic. The object makes a small ringing sound as it approaches, just the tiniest chime on your left. Catch it. Boom boom. Ka-ching! The key hits your palm, the speed freaks nod of you approvingly. Bask in the glory. The young man in ribcage shaped suspenders looks at you standing there with a goofy grin on your face. Give us morale. The word August used as an adjective. That's how cool it feels to be old and cool in the eyes of the young. Let's face it, you're near death yet bathed in the golden rays of stately grandeur. Like a late summer day, like a daddy-o. That's me, baby. Like a tequila sunset. Damn right I'm tequila sunset. Arriba! Of course you are. It's too late to be tequila sunrise now. There will be no sunrise for you. How long do those people have been locked in there? Not long. A week maybe? How can you be sure they haven't starved to death? They're about 85% sure they're still alive. Good enough, no one lives forever, baby. Exactly, continue. Continue. It's monitored. The man nods gloomily. It's relatively safe. No one has died yet. Right. Who are these people inside the church? I don't know. None of us do. You haven't even seen them around... Sorry. You haven't even seen them and you want the police involved. Well, he leans in for emphasis. There's also the machinery. This machinery is of deeply mystical variety. When I first scouted the place back in February, it was abandoned, empty. Took some time getting the crew together, so about 2 weeks ago we came here hoping to set stuff up. Suddenly, there are all these strange machines lying in there. One of them has wires running into bowls of water. Wires into water. Never seen anything like it. Andre, tell him about the feeling. Oh, and it felt like there was something in there with us, watching us from the dark. No, the other one. What other one? I'm not going in tune with my emotions as you are, Egg. Felt like silence, awful silence. For this man, even regular silence is awful enough, but that was something greater. But you haven't physically seen anyone. Not exactly, we just seen someone who we think was a woman go in and out of the church a couple of times, and we felt someone or something eyeing us up inside, but that's kind of it. Red hair maybe? A lorry woman? Sure, why not? Yeah, But not really. The other one adds brown hair, old, heavy, dark signs. Which one is it? What Noid said. Brown hair. Something watched you. Like you're not alone. It was quite human. Non-human means a predator. Dark shape climbing up inside along the ceiling, like some sort of crab man. Other one agrees it was stalking a cell, exhibiting ambush behaviour. Are you sure it was a crab man? Ambush behaviour. I didn't personally see it. The crab in there. You should ask about it, but be nice. Don't tell her you don't believe in the crab. The implications of this are too numerous to consider. Proceed with caution. Learn all you can before entering the dark building. Tell me about the machinery. You should be able to talk to Noid about that. I just got a distinct burnout and dope head sign from them. Possibly jacked up on some snuff station too, probably very likely. With a small surge of fear, alerts fills you, as if to say, this is the dark corner, look behind it. Jacked up to some sort of snuff station. He means like none of the rich boy private radio stations, like one of the rich boy private Hold on. He means like one of the rich boy private radio stations where you can listen to people getting killed on, then jerk off to its sick shit. Not that we would know anything about that. Now just likes relay stuff. So how can you be sure they're burnouts and dope heads if you haven't even seen them? Well, honestly I can't, but why not? Let's go with that. I don't see a single thing wrong with that argument. Done. Right, what I want to do is I'm going to call it there for now. Composure. As you turn, a bright light catches your eye, making you squint. Where does it come from? From a distant sunset, a stage light, a flash photography, nowhere in particular. It's just what superstar law officers do. They squint at lights and they solve shit. Actually, now that I hear superstar and law official in a sentence, they sound weird together. Yeah, that's me. I've been establishing my superstardom hard lately. Yeah, you have. You've been a dick cop, Dick Mullen, Salem Rocky B, badass, on the edge of disco cop. Time to recede into a ludicrous fantasy world. Here we go, camera lights, action. Some kind of superstar. With a sudden flash, the world freezes around you, and you along with it, in an iconic monochrome solution, a black silhouette against the rasterized orange world. It's on. Right. Let me step outside. I'm going to save the game. We're going to call it an episode there. When we come back next episode, I want to go back in the tent, speak to the other two guys, and then we're going to speak to the girl outside about the crab man, and then go into the church. And I'm also going to pump up my logic, was it, to see if I can pass that check. Oh, bloody hell, we got a lot done that episode, a lot of talking though. Right lads, hope you enjoyed the episode. See you in the next one.